Yes, I'm fanning myself. Yes, I am fanning myself because I don't know. That Lucas Bouchard was like fire today or tonight. Oh my gosh. So, hello everyone. How are you? Um, I noticed people are talking about the length of the episode. I wanted to talk about that. So I thought before we actually got into it, yes, Lucas was hot tonight. Lillian, I am putting that up and I'm going to leave that there for a little bit. Um, we will address that. That's why I'm leaving that there. Um, that was the team escape. I love that. Okay, I hope I come back to your comment. I hope I don't forget that. Cindy saying Lucas was fire. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about the length of the show. The show, of course, is an hour show, but it's never an hour's worth. It's like 40 some minutes, and the rest is commercials. And so many people complain about commercials. They complain about the commercials, those that don't stream it, complain about the commercials on other shows too, like The Way Home. But the truth of the matter is it's a formula, it's the same amount, and those commercials are what pay for that show to be on. That's how they pay their actors and their crew and everyone. It's ad revenue. That's where the most amount of money is made, is through ad revenue. And you think about the Super Bowl that's coming up and how much it costs, because all the people that are watching that and they're watching live, how much it costs to get that ad going across for them to see during that they have like a captive audience. And again, it's not us. It's not me. I don't work for who collects the data. It's a sampling. And, it's because they have to know who's watching and they have to have your demographics. So I know a lot of people think I'm not watching or, oh, we're all watching. We don't count in that stuff. But anyway, commercials are important. It's like a break. Go get a drink. Rest, stretch your legs. All right. So I wanted to also address, yes, last week, everyone was like, we don't see enough of Lucas. And I get that, like that feeling of you want to see him. But he does have quite a bit of screen time. So I was adding up the minutes and I rounded it up. So last week, added up his minutes and he had like about 7.5 minutes screen time. Now, I went and I took Kevin McGarry, not because I wanted to compare the two men. I chose him on purpose because unlike like the only other character that had multiple scenes with multiple characters was Erin. She was like all over the place. So that would have taken me forever. So I just wanted to do it as a comparison. So Kevin McGarry had about 10 minutes of screen time, which is 2.5 more minutes for than Chris. But you have to understand that when Chris was on, he was actively in the scene, having a conversation. He wasn't standing off and he wasn't really sharing the scene with other people. The scene was directly about him. And when Kevin had his time, he had time with the actress who plays his daughter. He had time with Erin. He had time with the Mountie. The young Jacob is his real name. So he was sharing time with those three. Sometimes more of them were in a scene. There's even one scene that's very long, and that's because the actor Jacob, who plays the new cadet, he had like this monologue of talking about his life for almost 2 minutes. So although it seemed like he had a lot more time, he really didn't when you add it all up. So I say kudos and thank you to the writers, because then they are paying attention and in their own way trying their best to accommodate, what the fans are feeling and what the fans want. There's no going back on a storyline. We're never going to get Luca Beth back. That's done. Remember, we talked about that. So I like it. I'm happy that we get as much screen time as we do. So now let's fast forward to now. So this episode with Lucas was just simply, yes, Lucas was hot tonight. He was, listen, girls and boys that are saying this, I loved it when I found the behind the scenes that they shared and I put it up and there was that rope and people were trying to figure out what could it possibly be. And then I was like, would he be in some Western garb? And I remember someone saying they wanted jacket off and they wanted V-neck chest showing. And I'm like, they never do that. And there he was riding on his horse with no jacket and that shirt was unbuttoned to down here. And the hair. What about the hair? Oh my goodness. Falling in his face. How about how he was really, truly, he's always running. He likes to run. I remember in Tipland when I was talking to the two directors, and those of you that were there, they talked about how he would be running. He loved to run. Then he was in that Christmas one where he had that little cameo and he was running with the reindeer costume on, which was hilarious. So anyway, Chris was running all over that very lumpy field. And I just loved their interaction. I really loved it. So let's see. I wanted to see what everyone was saying. Hello from Florida. Someone in here was talking about cattle. Hold on. Susan's like saying, although I don't think there was enough airtime with Lucas, I have to say Chris was adorable. So nice to see that beautiful smile again. I know. And that funniness about him. Let's see. Someone was saying they can't miss my podcast. That's nice. Thank you. I think Lucy was saying that. I'm in Canada. I can only watch tomorrow morning, but I couldn't resist Roxanne's podcast. Listen, Lucy, you're going to like the episode. It's sort of like two storylines. There's a little bit of the coin storyline. I'll talk more about that tomorrow, but there's like a Lucas and Edie storyline, and then it's the kids in the dance. And there's Angela too. So what am I talking about? There's I don't know. Yeah, there's Angela too. She's got a little part, and I like her storyline. Where's my person here? This is what happens when I'm by myself and got all these people in here and all these comments. Lucas is smitten with Edie. Curry. All right. There was somebody in here talking about they have a beef ranch or something. They said it was the tamest calf they've ever seen, which I thought was funny. And I'm paraphrasing what they said. I'm sorry if I'm misquoting you. But I thought that was cute. And he picked him up and he held him. But did you see? Like, I love this actress. She's got that face. Like, she talks with her facial expressions like Chris does. And when she saw him scoop him up and kind of like looked at him, she is smitten. I think she's feeling things before Lucas is feeling things, which is understandable because Elizabeth was supposed to be, the love of his life. So, or what he thought was the love of his life. So I just like when he looks at her and he says, you're always surprising me. I just love it. And then I love when they admit it to each other. I thought that was good comedy, right? Like comedic writing. When he's like, I have no idea. I'm going to help you, but I have no idea what I'm doing. She's like, yeah, neither do I. And I'm interested in I'm wondering her uncle, does he have a wife or what is that connection? Because remember the actress was on, I keep saying the actress, Miranda was on and she said family is everything to her. So I'm wondering if we'll get a little bit more about her family. What do you all think about that one? And yes, Edie doesn't know much about cattle. Right, Mary? Yes. And how much did that calf weigh? He just lifted him up. Lillian says, I like the interaction, but some are already shipping them. Come on, it's too early to do that. Well, I don't know. The only person who ever takes 972 years to be shipped is Elizabeth. Okay. Everybody else is kind of fast, like it's quick. So I don't know. I like it. I like where it's going. And there's definitely a spark there. And I think they have really good chemistry. And I loved with the rope and, with the rope in their hands touching. And then he's like, your ring. And she's like, oh, like she doesn't care about it. He's like, what about your fiance? Yeah, I just wear it to keep these suitors at bay. And that's what I thought. I was like, yes, I knew it. That's so fitting with her personality. I love seeing, hi, Laurie. I love seeing Lucas get some of his sparkle back. I'm not still feeling him with Edie yet, but I'm still open-minded. I feel it. I'm for it. I like it because I like her character. I like the actual character. Whether she was attached with Lucas or not, I would find her very interesting. Yeah. Um, I don't know who this is. Most boring episode, and I've been watched all binge watched all 11 seasons twice. Guess I'll just have to fast forward for the few seconds Nathan, Elizabeth, Lucas, Rosemary, and Lee get to be in. To it or what? I'm not sure. That's a whole lot of fast forwarding. Who is it that you're okay with? Jack? Bill? I don't know. Or maybe I'm misreading this. Most boring episode, and I've been binge watched all 11 plus seasons twice. Guess I'll just have to fast forward for the few seconds Nathan, Elizabeth, Lucas, Rosemary, and Lee get to be in. Got you now till they're in it. So listen, this is this podcast that I host tonight is we're just talking about Chris's part. This is a Lucas Bouchard, so we're just going to focus on that. The calf looked like it weighed about 150 pounds, and he just scooped that up. He just like so when he comes on, it's in my list of questions. I want to know about the calf scooping. I want to know about that. I want to know about a lot of things, and I'm just going to put that on the list. And the jumping around in the piles of lumpy earth. Kathy. Early in the episode, Edie said she was engaged when he didn't know what to call her. Now she says she just wears it to keep the suitors at bay. Yes, she did. And she said that because the ring fell off, and she's like, "Oh, I don't worry about it. And she almost is apologetic. I just wear it to keep the suitors at bay." And that's what I really thought all along. And they're getting to know each other, which I like. I really feel I will really feel the chemistry when Edie takes her glasses off. Oh, I like her with her glasses on. I'm okay with that. I like it. I wear glasses. We don't want to insult people. um, I didn't get to see the episode. I don't know how big the calf was, but my dad was a curry calf, used to carry calves. Oh, carry calves all the times. Ranchers are strong. I know ranchers are strong, but Lucas is not a rancher. But Chris, we were thinking about Chris, and it's a real calf, so it was cute. There's nothing bad about that. Mm. Joanne says, just wait till Edie lets her hair down. I'm waiting for, and here's what I love. I love when people fall in love with someone's mind, like there's something, and then when they're like capelled when they see them in a different way, and there could very well be an event where her hair is down a little, or it could even be that you didn't get dressed for the day yet and her hair's loose, something where they kind of, well, she got to see him with his hair down. I think that's why that look she gave him was like, oh, like that facial expression she had. They're just cute. They're really good actors, those two. Here's something I want to know. This I forgot what my other question was. Sorry, I was not feeling well today, but I'm better. Um, I like I okay. I have to word this how I want to word this correctly. I don't feel chemistry between Elizabeth and Nathan. I just don't feel it. I have nothing against either actor. I just feel like the combination is just not there. But I feel like when I see these two together, when I see Chris interacting with Miranda and Edie and Lucas, and just in the sharing of that table that they had to share, even the rope and the touching of their fingers, the way that they look at each other, because it's just exploratory now. I know it's not like, oh, we're shipping them right away. I don't mean that. It's just like they have a sensuality. I think that's the word. I was trying to say last time that it was a little bit like, I don't know, and I spelled it out like sexual instead of sensual. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what Lucas exudes, is like a sensuality about him. And that's what I like with these two. I think it's connecting for them too, which I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Chris can make anybody swoon. Martha I'm serious. I mean, yeah, you're serious. I'm serious. I'm not falling for the Lucas and Edie trap. Okay, so don't fall for it. All I can say is that I'm finding it. I do this for joy, and I'm finding that every time I turn around, it is filled with so much like anger and negativity. There has to be a time when we let that go and we move on because it's the same broken record kind of thing. And I don't know what it gains us. And I mean, I don't know. So I'm being positive about it. I'm excited. So that's me. I'm going to be excited. I agree about Nathan and Elizabeth. I don't feel them. Yes. Well, I was using that as a comparison. We could talk more about that tomorrow. I'm up here we go. I'm not here to talk about Elizabeth and Nathan. I was here to talk about Lucas and Edie. And I feel like that Chris is a sensual kind of person, and I think it kind of exudes out in the character of Lucas. And although it's new and there wasn't much, just the time that they are together, that sharing of space that these two characters have, whether it's in that train compartment or it's like there's that friction because they're like a enemies to lovers kind of thing, but not so much, not so fast. Because right away he's already sees a goodness in her and she's seeing a goodness in him. And he's liking what she has to say about her family and that she's sharing it with him because we know that he has that kind of a connection, or he used to. I hope he still does. Um, the thing with Chris is that he is such just a nice person that it shows through in Lucas. It does, Jan. And remember, Chris said that out of all of his characters, that's the one he identified with the most. I like the innocence so far and that they are noticing each other for many things, and love can build up over time. And Lucas is that person in the show relationship build. Love it. You know what? It might just come and hit him differently this time. I hope Lucas and Lee have a positive conversation soon. I think that they will. I really do. I think it's coming. That was something I loved how it started that way with Bill. I love when they do that, sitting in Bill's booth, trying to be like mediator, talking and how they made the dialogue go back and forth and what they had to say with each other. I love it. It was contrived to me, and I'm glad they're pulling back away from it a little bit more. And I just at first didn't understand the anger between them, and I'm so happy that we don't have to hear about Rosemary and her family and all that nonsense. I didn't like it; it didn't fit. But the way it's being handled now, I like it. It has like a lightheartedness to it, where I think it fell flat when they first introduced the argument and they were sitting in that booth. They even had like a wah wah music in the background, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not fitting. So I don't know if it was the way it was written or if it had to do with the directing of it or a combo. Lucas is a gentleman and very romantic. He is. And I see this. I see this coming and I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it to see that. Lucas and Edie tonight made me forget Lucas and Elizabeth. Oh, that's good to hear. I like that. Edie and Lucas have electricity in the scenes. They do. Miranda and Chris do. They very much do. So, I mean, and it's not meant to be super electric. They're just getting to know each other now. And I like that. And I like, and I hope she's a character that's staying, you know what I mean? That they make room for her. What was the other, what was it? More Edie and how she, um, I was talking about the loose hair. Yeah. The ring. And I like when he says, you continue to surprise me. Right. And then, of course, I had down there the pickup of the cow. Um, where would you like to see the next of their relationship go? What would you like? What would you like to have happen? I'm curious to see what you're all feeling. Then you would enjoy the two of them even more. Okay, Lucas leads with a cerebral connection and then communication. Yes, that's it. And she's got moxie. And I think and he's enjoying that. He's enjoying that because he can kind of see a little bit of himself in her where they connect. And I do know that they play cards together. I don't know what it's for, whatever, but they have a scene where they play cards together. That's coming up. Yes. So listen, I'm not even like some of you with I see some of those negative comments, they can just sail on by. Not to be rude, but maybe next time you don't need to join the podcast. You could skip it. So let's see. Let's see. I don't think Henry is interested in working with Lucas so much anymore. I wonder why that is. You know what? He wasn't interested in the first place. He did it because Lucas says, I really need you. And that's how they wrote it to be like that. And he helped him out. So maybe he feels like he doesn't need him at this point. Who knows? It could be picked up again, right? Right? It could be picked up again. Again, we're at the mercy of what the writers are writing. Let's see. Would like Lucas and me to play cards together and have dinner together. Yes, Arlene, right? I'm looking forward to that. I would like to see that. Love the show build up between Lucas and Edie. It's exciting. As Cindy mentions, a dinner together. Perhaps Lucas can get all parties together to hash out things. That would be fun, like a powwow, and they'd all sit down and maybe see each other in a different light too, and how they interact with other people. Okay, all right, all right. Judy says, I think Chris and Miranda have great on-screen chemistry together. Not everybody has that. Yes. And you know what? We don't all have to agree. You can join in my podcast. I would love that. And you could say, yeah, I'm not feeling it between them. That's okay. That might be how you feel. That's not my point. My point is I'm tired of people coming in and saying such this show's terrible and I'm done with it and I'm over it. We don't need to announce our departure. Okay, you're done. All right, thanks. Bye. I know that sounds like I'm getting bombarded with those kinds of negative things to me all the time. And I'm like, okay, why are you telling me? Okay, you don't like it anymore. All right, I'm sorry. Bye. Um, I like to see Lucas and Edie sharing coffee time while they're working at the same table. I do too. And I hope we don't just see it once or twice. I hope it's a consistent, like we see them, that's their spot. And you know what? Maybe they'll get an office together since there's such like a shortage of office space. Maybe eventually they'll get an office. I don't know. I like that. I would like Lucas to have a supportive partner. Yes, I agree with you. And maybe there'll even be a point where maybe when Lee is like kind of hashing it out with him and he's kind of accusatory sometimes, maybe she'll sort of step in and stand up or voice her opinion. You know what I mean? Say, that's not what it's like. I would like to see that. Someone like stand up and be a champion for him, right? Although he can champion himself. You know what I mean? Edie said she wanted to leave a legacy to remember her uncle. I'd like to see them build something together that would last. Yes. Maybe they could go on another horseback ride over the land again and get caught in it. Oh, okay. Okay. Yep, friendship. I'm with you. Yes, of course. Yes, yes, yes. But you have to know that the way they're having, like the way Miranda is portraying Edie and looking at him, she does have a crush on him, right? How many of us would not have a crush on a man like that? Okay. Maybe a picnic on her ranch so Lucas could see it. Of course, they would go there on horseback. Let's see. That's cute. We love to see them discuss the past and family and the importance of finding happiness. Yes. Sandy reminded me that Edie said she wanted to leave a legacy for her uncle, maybe combining the park. Oh, the park's names. Okay. I thought the land was Lee's. I'm confused because Edie says it's her uncle's ranch. It is his. She was talking about Lee don't like Lee gave it to be part like this big national park. It's the pathway that they use to get to that one pasture that is her uncle's land. That's what she's talking about. Yes. That's why they have that shared use, which really is not a thing. That's a made up thing with the writers of Hallmark of When Calls the Heart. But we know that you get like creative license to do that, right? She can be the leader beside him. Yes. So that I would love. I would love to see that. I really would. I think that would be fun. All right, so there's really not that much more to discuss about this episode. I enjoyed the episode for Lucas. I enjoyed what the two of them shared. The one thing I thought that was a little weird, maybe good, but weird, maybe not. The entire town was at that dance chaperoning, and like he was not. So in my mind, they're just still, back at the ranch having their moment, or maybe went and, you know, got, ready for the night. I don't know. I just thought it was weird that he wasn't there, but they kept that storyline kind of like aside, which is fine. Kathy says, if there is only a path to get to her uncle's ranch, why was the national park shown so small on the map Lucas showed Lee? No, it's a lot of land. And but what happens is a lot of that land is shared land to get to their various ranches. And the part that is not used is a small part that then you could actually make like a national park out of it, because the cattle wouldn't be in the way. So that's why it looks like that. Yes. Yep, Nikki, she did. This is the most I've enjoyed Lucas this season, I think, because he seemed happier in this episode. He did. Happy and lighthearted. He did. He really did. He did. And I like that they wrote him that way. Yes. Okay. Quick question, Roxanne. Did you receive my address from last week's Monday podcast for the prize I won? As I'm not sure if you got it, I sent it in Messenger and an email. Robin, I don't know. Maybe it went to my spam account. I didn't hear from you. So I'll look for you. Thank you for saying that. I'll look again. When this is over, if you don't hear from me, then that means no, I didn't get it. But I will look. Miranda is going to be on the heart to heart. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's cute. I'm glad she is. Good. Hope she gets even more airtime. Hope she's on someone else's too. All right. What's Cynthia saying? Lucas and Edie bumping into each other at the saloon. Lucas and Edie share a table and discuss the land area. Lee overhearing their conversation and the land, and he realizes he didn't hear Lucas out. Yes, Cynthia. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And Jan is agreeing with you, Cindy, saying that's because he started to seem like the old Lucas. I agree. And you know what? We could play this in our head and we could say, here's a man who took on a role he didn't think he wanted, but suddenly he did want it, and who was dumped by the woman that he loved, and who had to move away from the town that he was his only town that ever felt like it was his home. And he was shot, by someone that he cared very much about. And she tried to kill him again and connected him with a lot of bad press. They keep mentioning the trial, and I'm wondering if that's going to somehow surface or if it's just a background thing. So if we keep it that way, no wonder he was like a little grumpy and sad and out of sorts. We can look at it that way. He went through a lot. Lucas, okay. Let's see. Maybe Lucas will ask her to help him with some legal advice on other issues. Yes, 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 yes. Right? He needs that. She could sort of kind of be like for a part of his cabinet, if you want to call it that. Jennifer says she thought the whole episode was good. One of the better episodes since season 10, in my opinion. And he is starting to be like his old self. Yes. Yes, yes. I'm so excited to see it tomorrow. Oh, good, Lucy, because you haven't had a chance. It's a cute episode. There's a lot of dancing, a lot going on with the kiddos. There's a story with Angela, but Lucas has it starts off with Lucas. It starts off with a funny kind of thing with him and some really cool, I'm telling you, you get to see the hair of glory. And he looks very good in it. Yes, it was cute. I guess they are listening to us and giving us the old Lucas back. Maybe. Renaissance Lucas is capable on his own, camping out and exploring. Yes, even when not on the big stage, he can be on his own and take care of himself and others. Yes, this is true, Mary. Yes. I think Edie has independence too. They both. She absolutely does. But that's why I would love for her to be his champion, like to finally stand up and say, you know what, people, like, come on now. I would like that. Maybe she'll be an advisor to the governor because he doesn't have any advisors and he needs some. Yes. Yep. She's not afraid to travel and do things on her own. Nope. And I like how they created a character like that. Something quite different, right? Than what he had before, right? Yes, yes, yes. All right, this has been lovely. It's late, and it was a really good episode, and I look forward to more stuff tomorrow. If you want to hear all about the rest of the episode, join me tomorrow, and we're going to chat about everything else. And thank you for tuning in. All right, good night, everyone.